Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. We've been talking about so many different things lately. I feel almost as if the public conversation has kind of forgot that there's a literal dementia patient serving as the President of the United States. You know, when Joe Biden first took office, or of course months before, maybe a year or so before, the conversation we kept having, what I kept focusing on, especially on this channel, was the fact that this guy's done. Come on, he can't possibly win, can he? Well, anyways, he did end up getting into the office. And now we're so busy talking about bills and policies, hypocrisy, foreign policy, certain dynamics. But what the hell? How can we discuss any of it when still the main core issue stands? The President of the United States is malfunctioning. He doesn't work. He's a broken man. And boy, did we get a glimpse of that once again this week in a massively viral clip. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of America. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into. I'm laughing as I'm saying this, but it's no laughing matter. Let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So Joe Biden obviously has been pandering as hard as he can lately. January 16th is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And of course, truly devoted racist Joe Biden is going to do everything that he can to continue pandering to the black vote. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black Joe Biden. Robert Byrd was a great man, and I used to have lunch with segregationists Joe Biden. Oh man, anyways, that aside, Joe Biden's making a great effort to pander to the black vote on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and it has just been across the board a total unmitigated, absolute train wreck disaster. And this is the moment that everyone's talking about. Joe Biden just saying happy birthday to Martin Luther King III's wife, and straight up just forgot her name.
But congratulations today, the honorees, including your wife, who I understand is birthday today? Well, look, my wife has a rule in her family. When somebody's birthday, you sing happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Valen. Happy birthday to you. Well,
let's play that one moment again.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Valen. Happy birthday to you.
Actually, let's play it a couple times, maybe even put it in slow motion.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Valen. Dear Valen. Dear Valen.
What did this man just say? Happy birthday, dear Vale? Who the hell is Vale? Again, his brain doesn't work. He could have just said, happy birthday to you. He could have twisted the song, made it work. But instead, his brain cannot think a couple steps ahead. I'm about to drive into a wall here. I'm about to crash. He doesn't have the ability to redirect, step on the brake, change course. I don't even know her name. I'm singing this song. Her name's popping up. I don't know her name. What do I do? What do I do?
Dear Valen.
Happy birthday, dear Vale. This is the President of the United States, and people find it confusing that the Saudis are laughing at us. It's just sad. It's actually sad. He's like a confused old dog who gets put on the stage and he's trying to make it work, but he just looks so pathetic, low energy, malfunctioning. He shuffles around, looks confused, doesn't know what he's saying. That's probably why he constantly defaults to the same stories. He's just that old kooky Uncle Joe who goes back to the same phony stories that he tells his grandkids all the time. It's the only part of his memory left that isn't completely shot. Of course, the copium Democrats will come in. Well, how could he know her name off by heart? It's not like he interacts with her every day. Her name is Arndrena Waters King. It's a tough name to pronounce. Arndrea Waters King. He tried. He really tried hard, huh? Arndrea Waters King. That's the name. Let's see Joe Biden's attempt. great job, Joe. The copium Democrats are right. I should be easier on you. No, there's no excuse. It's a difficult name. Wrong. He's just not familiar with her. He doesn't know who she is. Wrong. Because even with people that he's familiar to, like, for instance, his most recent Supreme Court nomination, Ketanji Brown Jackson, I'm not the one who nominated her and I know her name off the top of my head. Well, this is Joe Biden 2 days ago.
Those are the words of Ketanji Brown Jackson, our Supreme Court Justice.
Ketanji Brown Jackson. I don't even know what to say anymore. Ketanji Brown Jackson. He just appointed this woman to the Supreme Court. It's not just a random person. He supposedly vetted this individual, specifically chose her, went through the whole procedure, and then nominated her for the job. One of the most important jobs, period. He doesn't know her name. He doesn't know who she is. It was an individual who was presented to him, President Biden, this is who you're gonna pick, sign right over here. And he went, all right, Corn Pop, get me a pen. He doesn't know who's around him. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know the policies that he's signing for. He doesn't understand foreign policy relationships and business relationships. He doesn't understand business in general. He gets told to do something and he does it. He's a puppet. He's a man whose brain is no longer working, and the Democrat establishment, the powers that be, are taking advantage of him. They put him in that position and they're using him. He's the perfect empty vessel. That's the proof. Joe Biden isn't some grand political genius with a vision for the nation. Joe Biden is a dementia patient who remembers a couple things from his past that he said and has worked in front of particular crowds, and he just defaults to those things over and over again. The guy's a broken record, literally. Speaking of that, here's him at the same event from earlier, where he just says the same stuff all the time.
And ban the number of bullets that go in a magazine. There's no need for any of that. I love my right-wing friends who talk about the tree of liberty is water with the blood of patriots. If you need to work about taking on the federal government, you need some F-15s. You don't need an AR-15. I'm serious. Think about it.
If you want to take on the federal government, you need some F-15s. You don't need AR-15s. Yeah, we'll say the same thing to the freaking Afghanis. They didn't have F-15s and they took on the American government, as well as other Western nations' militaries, quite effectively. It's kind of hard for a government to fight an armed populace, let's just say that, especially a motivated one. It's a BS talking point, but he continues to say it over and over again. It's a bad talking point. It works in certain crowds, and Joe Biden defaults to it. The same talking points over and over and over and over again. The same phony stories, the same lies. He doesn't know that they're lies. I mean, at this point, his brain is so friggin' shot that he probably believes that he got arrested with Nelson Mandela fighting apartheid. He probably believes that he marched for civil rights. He probably believes that he graduated with distinction on a fully paid scholarship at the top of his class and got 3 different degrees. He probably believes this stuff because his brain does not work and nobody challenges him. He just has a bunch of people around him who view him exactly as I mentioned earlier as an empty vessel, and they're using him. And he's just glad to be in the position. You know, I always said, Corn Pop, that I'd end up being president of the United States. I knew we'd make it happen one day, and here we are, Corn Pop. We did it.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
Now all we gotta do is make sure we go after those AR-15s, because those AR-15s are no match against my F-15s. It's just also stupid and incoherent. It's honestly like a bad SNL skit, or rather just an SNL skit, because they're all freaking bad. It's straight up clown world. I have no idea what's going on half the time, what this man is saying. There's no coherent vision. There's no coherent sentences or statements, frankly, coming out of this White House between this guy and Karine Jean-Pierre, or probably as he knows her, Corn Pop at the microphone. I don't know what the hell they're saying half the time. I mean, it's been 2 years of this administration. Well, in 3 days, it's officially going to be 2 years, but anyways, 2 years of this administration, and I feel like I'm losing IQ points following the news cycle and listening to these narratives, these statements, and just all of it. It's making me dumber. It is actively making me stupid, or stupider, and there's no standards. This is what it is. There's big George Soros money at the back of the DNC. They're pulling all the levers, and Democrat politicians at this point are just stand-ins, puppets. It's Joe Biden. Then it was John Fetterman getting elected to the Senate as a Democrat. Next, it's going to be a literal vegetable. It's going to be a cucumber. President Cucumber. Campaign funded by George Soros and Sam Bankman-Fried at FTX. He called a lid during the entire campaign season. I mean, not metaphorically, literally, was just in a jar with the lid on in a fridge. The 47th President of the United States of America, a literal cucumber.
You're gonna be the next president of the United States.
I really don't see much difference, to be completely honest. In fact, it would probably be better, because what exactly is Joe Biden doing? I mean, he's kind of just making things worse. He acts exactly like a vegetable, except he's harder to control and keeps making these serious gaffes, brings all kinds of scandal with his son, his family, classified documents, yada yada, his history of lying. Well, a cucumber has none of that. That must be what George Soros is working on. Cucumber human hybrids. There's really no difference, though, between a cucumber and Joe Biden. Both of them could just sign off on all the bills. Both of them can sit in a chair. Both of them can constantly refuse to answer any questions, can shake hands with people, and just at every point in turn do as they are told. There's no difference. Joe Biden's a vegetable, and I still don't get, it baffles the mind how that's just become normal, become the standard, become okay. It's not okay. And our foreign adversaries know that and understand that very clearly. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, possibly subscribe to the channel if you guys are up for it. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.